Hey, welcome to Liberal Buzz Show. I'm Denise Dory, and we're going to talk about France. They called and they want their statue back. So we're going to talk about immigration and why we need to support those who are being raided by ICE and how we can best support them. And I'm not sure I brought any guests in, but here we go. One of my favorite guitarists, Frank Zappa. So I'm gonna live with this fact that it'd be a good idea to have an extra chip in your phone, and I'll tell you why. Because you want to take videos with your phone. This show is called Practicing Solidarity During ICE Raids. I want to share these facts with you and make it so that you'll know what to do when when ICE comes to your house, or maybe they pull you over, you know. And the solidarity that we practice is the Rapid Response Network, and they're affiliated with the church. They're affiliated with churches because they're considered sanctuaries, and so this is a sanctuary city. But you know, you never know what's going to happen with this president we got. That's really a unpredictable hot mess. So they're now the people of faith. I'm not really religious, and I'm not telling you to go to church, but we wanted to create a way for, you know, these people are going to create a way, and I'll give you the address in a minute, for people of faith, you know, to come and pray for them. But there's other things to do besides just pray. There's people to take videos. You need someone to take a video and someone to actually take physical notes. And there has to be a liaison to talk to the police and ICE. And the ICE, 99% of the time, do not have a proper warrant from a magistrate. So just 99% of the time is like almost all the time. You know, if they do have a warrant, it's rare. So just know that. But the more witnesses you have, the better you're going to do in court, in my immigration court. I've been to immigration court in another country, and it's so if you I've got more information about it that I uploaded for my other show. It's going to be tomorrow night at 6. There's going to be two, and it's also on my YouTube channel, about practicing the solidarity during ICE raids. It's a whole lecture, and I'm just condensing that lecture so that I can share it with you. It's only a 22-minute show, and this guy really, you know, he talked for an hour, and it was all good. And so I took the whole hour, and it's on our show tomorrow, and then the other one's next Friday. So go to Denise Dory on YouTube. Just type my name, and you'll see it. Look at all my videos. It's just a recent upload. So anyway. When we get a call that a raid's happening, you know, it's like there's a whole network. You have to get a hold of a whole network, and people who are vulnerable should have these phone numbers, that they're going to set up a phone number, but you have to give them your number first, and that number, that website is Lorena, Lorena, at faithinactionba.org. I didn't have room to type it in the title, but so just go to my YouTube channel, and you'll find it, the address. And so the faith community, they get together and they find out, and they call the teams to the site, and usually the cops show up around 6 in the morning. And so makes it you better go to bed early if you want a whole night's sleep. Just be aware of them. And we have to be there for the family. We have to, the church, they'll hold a prayer vigil, and they'll film the raid on phone cameras. Maybe at least one person should do that. And be there for the family, maybe even hook them up with services or whatever they, if they need a ride somewhere. So, food. And the raids happen in the early hours of the morning and throughout the day. Also, so I didn't. And so we need people who are committed, and all they need from you is your phone number and your email address. So to verify the raid, because if they have to have a valid number, and there's a red card that if they knock on the door, that you can put the red card under the door saying, I know my rights, because by rights, the government really can't. Citizens and non-citizens all have the same rights before the cops know who you are. And that includes before they know who you are and you give them probable cause. That's the law. I'm not saying they're going to follow the law, but yeah. So we've all got to stand together, because this is we have to have some solidarity, which is something the Democrats need more of. Stop being so corporate. But anyway, it's really a scary thing to have your family dragged out of your house at 6 in the morning, and they see there's moral and legal observers. Moral observers make sure that the cops are not being, abusive, or doing things that they're not supposed to legally, like there's a lot of things that they do that's illegal. So we have to. And they document what's happening during the raid. They gather the information, and they support the legal team. And there's somebody to talk to the ICE, and there's also somebody to talk to the family as well. So, and take a picture of the videos, and videos of the agents and their badges and their license plates. That's really key. License, and if you get to see their badges, get a picture of the badges. Totally. Here's some samples. Here we go. So yeah, we get like that. That's a normal one. And and when you see that, that's not enough. They need a warrant. And when they get the warrant and they slide it under the door, you don't have to even talk to them. Just pass a card to them. There's a red card, and you'll be able to get it if you join Lorena at faithinactionba.org. It's all one word, of course, in all small case letters. Lorena, Lorena. So now we have to take notes, like have somebody take notes, like, and then someone also another person take videos, and how many agents there are, what was said and being done, because this will help you in court. This will help you a lot in court. So I strongly urge you to remember these things, and go to this video on my Twitter feed. So then if the team arrives after the raid is done, then you can talk to the family and be there for them. There's a lot of ways, there's any number of things that might come up, and make sure that there's a team, accompaniment team, to support them too. So there's a team. There's a whole network is being established to help. And so that's important to know, that you're not alone. And don't assume that all immigrants are Latin. They're often I knew an undocumented person that was a few of them that were Canadians, white people, and Russians. I'm not trying to give up. They're not on my Facebook page. So anyway, so they got deported. A few of them. They deported all Canadians too. So the ICE raids have, they have a huge impact on families. So there's the churches provide a lot of support too. So I'm sure you know about that. So, the churches are, of course, famous for helping immigrants, and so see what we do is to join the accompaniment team. They're accompanied when there's an ICE raid. You're just on call. It's like being in the fire department. Anytime a fire breaks out, you're there. They tell you where to go. Leave. You don't turn your cell phone off at night. So I don't know if they'd come in the middle of the night, but they come in the middle. I've heard of them coming in they probably do. I wouldn't doubt it. So I might have even heard of it. So we have to connect the family also to the legal network, and after they leave, we be a presence for them because they're going to be stressed out, of course, and get the information who was detained, and then connect to the local legal network to make sure that they've got some representation in court, because they're going to get a court date likely. If they're taken away, they'll probably get a court date, and I mean they can have the probable cause. It does, just because they're not allowed to mess with you on the street, it doesn't mean that. Oh, say you jaywalked or any little thing can just, get you on blast. So I urge you to always drive the speed limit. Undocumented immigrants should drive the speed limit. And now we had the Trump administration. They expanded the parameters for enforcing deportations. So the target for, even though San Francisco are staunchly a sanctuary city, I wouldn't sit back and just relax because they say they're a sanctuary city. I wouldn't. Say you used a fake social security number to work, and that was the only thing you did. That could be probable cause for them to mess with you now. So that's the new parameter, I guess. And any crime or arrest, really, any crime, any arrest, you stole a pack of gum. Okay, so low-level ICE agents don't always know in court. They don't always know. The low-level agents aren't really versed in your rights. They don't really know much about your rights, and that's why they're always violating them. And 99% of the reason why they're there, they don't have a magistrate's warrant. So I can't tell you that enough times. And in court, you see the immigration. You only see really in court the three people, and that's your immigration judge. In Australia, they called it a tribunal. I had to go through in front of a tribunal. Boy, it's hard to get in that country. And a government attorney, and then the undocumented immigrant, which is if they're being detained, they'll just bring you into court the next day, or if it's on the Friday, then they bring you in on Monday, quite often. So, see, because the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, they violate the 4th and 15th Amendments in the Constitution against unreasonable searches and seizures. Those are one of their favorite things to do, and so, I mean, yeah, now if you need volunteers, we have to publicize it too, put it on social media, volunteer to observe the video on the cell phone and take notes. Take notes, and because you have a right to observe. And if they get mad that you're getting too close to them, and they want to, then take one step back. It doesn't mean you don't run away. Don't let them intimidate you, because it's by law and you've got a video. So, now, it's best to have a cell phone for the videos that you take. And I'll tell you why. Well, I'm not quite sure why, but if you use a cell phone, you're more likely to have it with you than a camera all the time. And you just put a chip in there. Put a chip. That's what they ask. They ask for a cell phone. And it's all right. Don't let them ever intimidate you, because you're on the right side of the law. And so, I mean, see, the private prison industry, they're making a killing off of jailing undocumented folks. So, it's bad. We've got people making money off of other people, families being broken up. And, just because they used a false social security number to work. So, yeah. I mean, there's been 3 million immigrants deported in 8 years since Obama was president. So, Obama wasn't perfect on immigration either, and the media hardly ever reported about it. Maybe 19 seconds a week, if that. Yeah, so, if the volunteers, when I went to this lecture, the volunteers just filled the room. It was very heartening, because you see this this movement, when you see the women out there, and we're mad. There were 5 million marching against Trump, and the momentum's going. It's building. So we're gonna be on the right side of history, and a few people are gonna, there's gonna be some collateral damage. Oh God. But not much. I mean, it's not, the days are past when we can just get out roll the guillotine out, and take the guillotine. Yeah, because France gave us a statue that represented freedom and accepting people from everywhere to come and participate in our version of democracy. And that's scary that we're losing that. So this is undemocratic. If the cops ever bug you without a warrant, it's unlawful. And even get whoever you can to take videos of every moment. If you're alone, don't go. I wouldn't. You should be around other people to take videos if you're going to go out. If you feel vulnerable, because they can take videos of the detention, then it'll work in court. So, and you can even, if there's any abuse, I don't know if the Office of Citizens Complaints would have any jurisdiction, but if it's the local police involved, they would. I think the Office of Citizens Complaints is for local jurisdictions. So, yeah. Now, let's see that. Now remember that, look at the warrant and take a picture of the warrant too with your camera, with your phone. Because camera phones are pretty good these days. Take a picture of the warrant that the cop slides under the door. Hopefully nobody opens the door. Tell the whole family, you don't have to open the door. They just have to slide the warrant. Well, you give them the red card when they knock, and you see through the peek hole that it's them. And then you slide the red card under the door, and and then they'll see it, and they'll know that you know your rights. Because otherwise, if you don't, you demonstrate that you don't know their rights, they'll trample them, especially if nobody's taking videos. So that's solidarity. So we have to have, this is what we're having, solidarity and ice raids. And so because let's see now, remember to join, it's LORENA at faithinactionba.org. And they that way you can give them your email them your phone number and your zip code, and you'll be hearing from them. And you might be hearing from them at 6 in the morning. So leave your phone on. And what else? Before I go, now remember to adopt a shelter pet, please. They're waiting for you, and they made me very happy. So, and please watch Frank Molinaro's show. I like his is every Thursday at 5, every second and fourth Thursday at 5 p.m. And then you have Richard Rants. And see, alternative media has never been more important than it is now. We see that the media practically handed the election to Donald Trump. There's several ways that the election was handed to him. The media gave him billions of dollars worth of airtime, free airtime. So that's what I'm saying. So anyway, we got it.